Hello, this is Gerald Scarzella, and this is my proposal for a makerspace. I'm actually proposing a coding makerspace for Ketchikan High School in Ketchikan, Alaska. And the reason I chose coding is because I think it's one of those areas that I think kids would really benefit from. And so I'm going to kind of briefly go over some of the aspects of my proposal here. And as you can see, that's my first page of the proposal, Coding for Kids. And one of the things I found interesting was when I did a search about makerspaces, especially for high school, I found a website, the U.S. Department of Education issued a challenge to all high schools in the nation to design a makerspace. And the winner would receive $20,000 to actually follow through on their design based on it being innovative, replicable, multifunctional, feasible, sustainable, and addressing need. And so this was basically kind of a wake-up call for my school to realize that, high schools really should have a makerspace, and it does serve a need for students. Our vision statement is every student acquires the skills and or knowledge to succeed. Our mission statement reads to provide high quality instruction to every student within a positive environment, reflective of our community needs. And our instruction statement reads that our instructional programs must meet the varying needs of all students and prepare them for successful futures as productive citizens in the 21st century. So like I said earlier, I do think that coding does provide a great way to kind of fulfill a need that we're kind of missing at the high school level here in Ketchikan. So basically, I went over what a makerspace was. We all know what that is in our class anyway. And so I suggested that we try to use a library for our makerspace, coding makerspace. As far as the materials, we already actually have a lot of computers and laptops available to use, so there wouldn't be anything needed for that. I did make it so I can invite grades 3 through 12 to be in the makerspace. And so it would be located at a high school in the library, and it should be large enough to be able to accommodate all those students that would be interested in going. Um, I talked briefly about the rationale for having a coding makerspace. Coding can allow students to be creative and collaborative. And it also teaches them to problem solve and have critical thinking. And so those are just some of the aspects of coding that I kind of briefly went over in here. We talked about some of the rules here: be excellent, creative, and collaborate. Since we're not really dealing with tools in a regular physical makerspace, I didn't have a section on safety, but if we ever decide to have some sort of physical area where we have to build something, then we would have another section on safety rules for tools and things like that. The materials, like I mentioned earlier, we have the hardware basically. We would just need to find and use the software, and there is a lot of resources online. And the two resources that are great to use online is code.org has a lot of resources on their website. And as you can see, they actually have elements of elementary school, middle school, high school, and also a section for students to explore some of the courses they offer. Another good resource is Makerspace for Education. And this is a nice way to basically kind of get into, as an instructor, how to get into coding with your students. So this is a pretty good resource that I'm going to use quite a bit if I do this for my class or for my Makerspace. So those are two really good resources. Back to the proposal, I did kind of include a section in my funding to buy some robotics kits. Now I listed here Lego Mindstorm, but basically it could be any robotics kit. They do have quite a few out there, and I just chose this one just because I've seen the Lego Mindstorms a little bit online and they seem pretty cool. But they are kind of spendy, but I think if you have a couple of kits along with a textbook or two to help along with projects, it'd be a great thing. And I also included this Codemaster programming game, which doesn't need any hardware, but it's just a board game that kids can play as well. The total is about $1,600. making the Makerspace available, really the thing that you only have to purchase is the Lego materials and that Codemaster game. And Lego actually has quite a bit of grant and funding site ideas that they have on their website, and here they are. Scroll them through pretty quick. But National Science Teachers Association, National Science Foundation, Grants Alert, NEA Foundation, and so on. Really great resource, and they actually give you as well a writing guide to help you out to write grants for some of these things that you would need funding for. So a great thing to do. I would also encourage local businesses, organizations, and parent groups to donate if they could, but I know that's not always feasible, and it seems like there's a lot of other groups in our community that do contribute to a lot of other groups, and so it's just one more thing that they can contribute to, but at least we can ask and find out if they can contribute to it. One of the things I talked about is having a minimal fee to be part of the Makerspace, and I just kind of guessed a fee like $20 a year to join the Makerspace, but that can be something that can be determined later once we try to find out what kind of materials we would like to purchase after having a coding Makerspace specifically on computers. As an example for the coding Makerspace, what I did is searched online for some nice places to learn about coding, and here's one of them, CodeMonkey. And it's a bridge between block coding and text coding, and so it's pretty cool. I'm gonna play it right now, and hopefully you'll hear the sounds and music and stuff that's going on here. So the idea behind this game really is that this monkey needs to gather all the bananas that just got stolen from him. And so as we go through and play the game, it'll kind of tell you what you have to do. Here's the monkey right here. Here's the banana that you want right there. He's got to take 15 steps to go get it. So if I hit the run button, he's going to follow whatever steps that you put up here. And then you can go to the next challenge. And after you get done with that, it kind of tells you, okay, it's not 10 steps he has to make. How many steps does he have to make to get the banana? So you have to actually input the number of steps that you need. I think it's 15, so I'm going to change it to 15. And then press run. And then it got to it just fine. And then it gave me 3 stars for that. One more time here. And let's say, for example, I decided to make a mistake. And instead of trying to get the banana in 20 steps like it's saying, maybe I made a mistake and say I'm going to do it in 9 steps. And if I hit the run button, obviously it didn't get there, so it's going to say, oh, you better use a ruler, try again. And so it's a nice way to kind of catch those kids that are having trouble with the coding. So it does get more complicated than this. There's actually 30 levels you can do, and it's pretty nice. And so that is one of the examples of things that we can do in that Makerspace, is go through things like this that learn about coding. And you can see here that the monkey has to get 3 bananas and turn corners and such. And so here's the code to do that. And here's another example of making a mistake. I didn't turn the right number of degrees, so it says, what's half of 90? So I had to figure out what that is and redo the code. So those are just examples, an example of what you can do with the Makerspace. I did talk a little bit about the Lego Mindstorms again, but there are lots of kits out there that you can use. We know that we've done the Arduino, there's Raspberry Pi, Flora, and lots of other stuff. But the idea is that sometimes the more cool things are actually a little more expensive. So that's the trade-off there. Sustainability, I would be the person in charge of the Makerspace, but if staff members wanted to be included, they could participate as long as they like being in there, and also community members can participate and contribute as well. Here is my flyer for the Makerspace, Coding Makerspace, 10 Reasons to Teach Coding, and it's a nice little graphic of what coding does for you. And there's information to get a hold of me at the high school. And for right now, I just said we can do it every Wednesday at 3, but that can be determined at a later date. Well, I hope you like this Makerspace idea. Thanks. Bye.